Hello, I'm Mark Ells, Town Manager, and this is my Town Manager communication for June 15th, 2023. This evening, we'll be proceeding with our operating budget approvals. Our Barnstable Public Schools will be before Town Council with their operating budget. With that budget hearing, that will conclude our FY 2024 fiscal year budget approval requests. I want to congratulate Ann Quirk, our town clerk, for receiving the Town Clerk of the Year award at the Massachusetts Town Clerk Association meeting on June 8th. Great job, Ann, and well deserved. Couple of procedural updates. Town Manager's Office will be holding a second virtual public hearing on the proposed amendments to the Town Manager's Regulations, Part 4 of the Code of the Town of Barnstable, to adopt grant of location regulations. These regulations provide application procedures and standards for the construction of wireless communication facilities located in the public right-of-way. The public hearing will be held on Wednesday, June 21st at 10 a.m. via Zoom, and full text is available on the town's website under proposed grant of location regulations. Also, Town Manager's Office will be holding a public hearing on the proposed green burial regulations. The initial was on May 10th. The next meeting will be on June 22nd, where via Zoom at 9 a.m. we will be reviewing public comment and recommending final green burial regulations. Another announcement, Barnstable's been recognized as the 2022 Tree City by the Arbor Day Foundation. All of us should be proud of our community, to know that we live in a town that makes planting and caring for trees a priority. Great job, staff. I know our planning, DPW, put a lot of effort into getting us this recognition, so thank you. Beginning Saturday, June 24th, beaches and ponds will be open 7 days a week through Labor Day. Beaches will be open daily from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Similar to last season, we're experiencing lifeguard shortages, which may impact our ability to provide lifeguard coverage at all of our beaches. Ensuring public safety is our top priority. The Recreation Division is working to provide lifeguards at as many sites as possible. We want to advise the public, though, due to that limited staffing, some sites may not have lifeguard coverage, and swimmers will have to do so at their own risk. At this time, we anticipate full staffing at Craigville Beach, Dowses Beach, Colville's Beach, Calmet's Beach, and Veterans Beach. But we are still looking at how to provide lifeguard staffing at the additional locations. We anticipate keeping you advised as we get closer to June 24th. As a follow-up to our last beach raking update, we've put in an interim request for beach raking at Craigville Beach and Colville's Beach. It's been submitted to Mass Heritage and is pending review and approval. If approved, we anticipate that we'll be allowed to rake these beaches for litter during this upcoming summer season. So we'll need to wait and see whether we receive that approval. We're also working on the other beaches as well, but we were able to advance these now and have done so. Part of the interim request involves a commitment by the town to submit a full beach raking plan to Natural Heritage by July 15th of this year, which we are anticipating doing. We'll keep you advised as we progress on this effort. The Cape Cod and Islands Wastewater Trust Fund Board met this week and approved a 25% principal subsidy for wastewater projects listed as eligible on the 2023 intended use plan for state revolving funds. What does that mean? It means that for every $1 million of eligible project, we will get a $250,000 principal subsidy from the Cape and Islands Wastewater Trust Fund. So that would mean that the town would be obligated to find funding for the remaining $750,000. It's very important to get listed with the states as eligible so that our projects can receive such a principal subsidy. I believe we have 4 projects on the 2023 intended use plan. The board also voted to prepare a letter to Governor Healy requesting additional state funding to assist the trust fund to provide continued 25% principal subsidies through 2027. Right now, given total project costs and available principal subsidies, moving forward into 24 and beyond, we're looking at more in the range of a 12% principal subsidy. But given the prioritization of us moving forward with our comprehensive wastewater management plan and expansion of sewering, we want to make sure that the governor's aware how this priority needs state support to make this more affordable for the communities on Cape Cod. The board will also be requesting that the town council, in our case, but each legislative body from each town on Cape Cod provide a support letter for this request of state-supported funding. Discussions continue with state officials on the proposed regulatory changes to Title V and watershed permits and state funding to support communities for the implementation related to these proposed regulations. We do anticipate that approval of these regulatory changes is going to happen in the near future. The discussion regarding funding support is critical to each community's ability to implement their approved comprehensive wastewater management plan, which in turn, by doing so, will allow a community not to have to upgrade to their on-site septic systems, their traditional Title V systems. That upgrade would involve them going to an innovative alternative nitrogen reduction system. The concern we have is that ultimately we will be required to move to sewering over our 30-year plan. So we're hoping that with the adoption of these regulations and continued support from a funding standpoint from the state, that we can implement our comprehensive wastewater management plan on schedule and receive approvals so that our residents have to do what the comprehensive wastewater management plan calls for us to do. And it's either keep the system you have or you would be required to connect to sewer once it's installed. We'll keep you advised of our progress on this matter. That concludes my town manager communication for June 15th. And at this time, I'll ask Kelly Colopy to come up. She's the communication manager for the Department of Public Works, and she's going to give you an update relevant to water resource management. Kelly?
Thank you. Hello, Kelly Colby from the Department of Public Works, and I will be walking you through our water resources management update. As this construction season comes to a close, I wanted to start with a high-level look at some Phase 1 milestones. We are currently in year 2 of our first 10-year implementation phase, And at the crux of everything we are doing here, the ultimate goal is to preserve and heal and ultimately protect our water bodies and our water resources. So these first two projects that are currently active as part of Phase 1, Strawberry Hill Road and Route 28 East, both will have a direct impact in helping to reduce nitrogen loading in the Centerville River watershed once complete, functional, and accepting flow. And we are anticipating those first connections to be available this coming spring of 2024. Looking at the center of your screen, you will see linear feet of sewer installed. This is both our sewer force main as well as our gravity sewer. In this construction season alone, we've installed over 10,430 linear feet of sewer. And to date, as a whole, we've installed over 26,000 feet of linear feet of sewer. And then sewer service stubs installed. This is that sewer service stub that is left at the property line in the right-of-way that will ultimately be the mechanism that allows property owners to connect to our municipal sewer service. During this construction season, we've installed 100 of these sewer service stubs, and to date, we've installed 263. Now we'll look at our current active projects, the first being Strawberry Hill Road sewer expansion. We are thrilled to announce that sewer construction within the roadway has been completed on time and on budget. Now, we do intend to return this fall to a very targeted portion of the project route for properties along the southern portion of Route 28, and this is to install sewer service laterals. These laterals will ultimately make connecting to municipal sewer service easier and more convenient for those identified properties. This work will happen in the shoulder. It does not require us to dig up the roadway. It'll all be happening in that right-of-way. And with that, we anticipate, as I mentioned earlier, first connections to be available in the spring of 2024. The Strawberry Hill Road sewer pump station is nearing completion. We are still awaiting our electrical service for that pump station, and per our utility partner, Eversource, we anticipate those transformers to be delivered in the early fall. Now, the Strawberry Hill Road sewer expansion project was sequenced in collaboration with Vineyard Wind. We are happy to report that Vineyard Wind, as of May 17th, has completed all of their duct bank installation. They've installed over 27,000 linear feet of duct bank infrastructure. And as of June 7th, they've completed their 60 cable pulls. Now, there still is some remaining work. Vineyard Wind will return to the project route this fall to complete some cable splicing and testing along the project route. This requires just a reduction in traffic to single lane alternating, and we do not anticipate or expect any additional work within the roadway referring to excavation or digging as a result to Vineyard Wind. That construction is complete now. Below, you'll see our final paving schedule with Addicks Lane, Strawberry Hill Road from Pine Street to Route 28, and Finney's Lane and Quacket Lane all scheduled or anticipating to be scheduled for final paving and restoration this coming fall. Shifting back to CWMP related construction, we have the Route 28 East Sewer Expansion Project. All construction within the roadway has concluded for this construction season, but what you will see happening is the contractor transitioning to off-road work. This will be happening first in front of the Barnstable Intermediate School, within the shoulder, that shared use path specifically. You'll see construction equipment and staging mobilizing as early as this coming Monday, June 19th. And again, all construction will be happening within that shared use path in front of the school. ADA compliant pedestrian detours will be built up to allow our cyclists and our walkers to be able to safely navigate the work zone. Additionally, we have site preparation currently underway within the vicinity of the water pollution control facility. Like the work happening in front of BIS, all construction will be within the shoulder in front of the structures and ground building, and then advancing actually cross country toward the water pollution control facility. We anticipate that construction beginning the first week of July. We will have the contractor returning to Finney's Lane, the southerly portion of Finney's Lane, in the fall to complete the rest of the sewer work that needs to happen. And then we'll look at the Finney's Lane pump station. Here we continue to build out installation of the upper deck and support structures. And looking at the water pollution control facility, we continue to advance construction as it relates to our solids processing facility upgrades, and we are on track for completion of that project by the end of this calendar year. The nitrogen removal and headworks improvements project continues to move forward. Our contractor has submitted a conceptual design for the nutrient removal portion of this project, which is in review with our team. And since our last update, there really has not been a significant change in the effluent disposal evaluation project. We are just continuing to actively contract for that next phase of work, and we look forward to returning to the council with an update in the near future. Now, to support all of this construction and ultimately the sewer connections that we anticipate coming this spring of 2024, we've been working diligently on upgrading our communications tools and resources at the Department of Public Works. The first being a major overhaul to the Barnstable Water Resources website. We are currently in a soft launch phase right now, where we have made available our redesigned homepage and main interior pages. This includes a modified navigation, really taking all of that user feedback from the public outreach meetings that we've hosted, conversations we've had with community members, calls that have come into the Department of Public Works, taking all of that feedback to really improve the layout of the site, how our content is crafted and presented, and ultimately how you search the site. So we are actively accepting feedback from our Barnstable Water Resources subscriber list and all community members. Lastly, we'll look at updates regarding our water quality monitoring program. Cyanobacteria monitoring resumed on May 23rd in collaboration with the Association to Preserve Cape Cod, the APCC. All Town of Barnstable water quality updates and reports are posted on barnstablewaterresources.com/water quality monitoring. And to the right of your screen, you can see the newly developed landing page that is hosted on barnstablewaterresources.com. This is where all of our town water quality reports are posted. You can see in that white content block right there. But then we also have a bunch of additional resources and links out to important items like the APCC's cyanobacteria monitoring map. Additionally, embayment monitoring will resume on July 6th and 7th. This is really a collaborative effort that spans so many different organizations, from town staff and citizen volunteers to the Barnstable Clean Water Coalition and surrounding neighboring communities as well. So you can see for shared estuaries, there will be additional samples collected by the towns of Yarmouth and Mashpee. Embayment monitoring is a key element in our overall CWMP monitoring program. It allows us to diligently track changes to nitrogen levels in our bays. And if you need a refresher on the program and how we collect that data, our senior project manager, Amber Unruh, did present to Town Council on October 20th, and I've left the link to that presentation below. That concludes our water resources management update. Thank you.